Hello everyone, my name is Financial Charles. Today is September 20th of 2023 and Bitcoin's price currently is at $27,200. So as you can see here, we had quite the significant pump over the past couple days. And I had a feeling this was going to happen simply because I knew I wanted to lump sum. I knew I wanted to take out a big amount of money and just invest it. And I made that decision right here during that this little dip right here down to below $25,000. And of course, when I was waiting for my funds to approve, and it just got approved today, so I bought today and I bought all the way up here. But of course, I had to witness this whole entire big move up, and it was just the most frustrating thing I've ever seen. I knew for a fact that Bitcoin was going to rocket up, so attaining whole coiner status would be unreachable for me. I knew for a fact this was going to happen. Had it just stayed down here, I'd be at a whole coin by now. But right now, I'm just a bit short of a whole coin. I'm about 0.2 away from a whole coin, so that's about $500 from where we're at right now. So that means in a couple days, I will officially become a whole coiner once, I get payment Friday. But it's just crazy to see how, we had this little pump up here, when we dropped all the way down from the $30,000 range down to the $26,000 range, we had a pump up for a day and then we crashed back down. And now the levels that Bitcoin is at right now, it's pretty much at the top of where it pumped up to a couple days ago, or should I say a couple weeks ago. This was already 3 weeks ago. Wow. But, with that being said, I just lump summed a significant amount of money today. So maybe that is your, indication that the market is going to drop after this, because every single time I lump sum, it'll drop more. Today's Wednesday, so we should be waiting for what the Federal Reserve has to say about interest rates. A lot of people were predicting that, they would pause and they wouldn't raise it, but we'll have to see. Either way, a lot of indicators and a lot of analysts on YouTube are saying that, Bitcoin, even though this was just a short relief rally up over the macro, or not the very macro, but over the medium term, we can expect to see it drop down even further. But as I said in my previous videos, I do not want to wait any longer. I do not want to wait for lower prices and risk waiting for lower prices. So if we don't go lower and this is the beginning of a move upwards, then look what would have happened had you been waiting for $20,000 or even, below $25,000. You wouldn't have gotten the opportunity. If you're waiting for this low to break, you wouldn't have gotten that opportunity, because even this low over here, it did not go as low as this wick right here. So who knows what type of formation we're forming. We just rallied after touching below, as soon as Bitcoin went below $25,000, we started to rally up. I have no idea what's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to go back and test this $25,000 or $26,000 range, or $25,000 range. Well, we'll have to see. What Ben says is he's still bearish on the remainder of the year. I don't know how bearish. We don't know how low it's going to go. We don't really know anything. All we know is that, Bitcoin, there's only 21 million, so to buy at any range is a fair trade. It's a steal, actually. In the macro scale, buying Bitcoin at $27,000, it's not bad at all, especially if you think that the value of the world will be denominated in Bitcoins. Imagine having 1/21 millionth of the world's value for only $26,000 now, So obviously still macro bullish, and it will continue to be that way. That's the reason why I spend all my money on Bitcoin. Whenever I get my hands on some fiat, I convert it to Bitcoin immediately. And this Friday, when I get my next check, I will lump sum that check and I will officially become a whole coiner. And then once I become a whole coiner, I will make another video explaining what it means to be a whole coiner. I mean, I've already mentioned in my multiple of my previous videos how valuable it is to be a whole coiner, and how this is probably the last cycle, if not the next cycle. But these are going to be one of the last cycles in which the average Joe can obtain a whole coin, because who knows, maybe in the 2026 bear market, we might see a low of below 60,000, just like how here we saw, the lows cross the previous all-time high. This is the very first low in Bitcoin history that broke below the previous bull market's high. We bottomed out here at about $15,000, and if we rewind all the way back to 2017, you could see that the all-time high was around $19,000. I remember during this bear market, no one thought that Bitcoin would go down to $20,000 because never in Bitcoin's history has it gone below the previous all-time high. But obviously, Bitcoin has a way of surprising us. And Bitcoin, according to the data, every 4 years a bull run occurs, but it has diminishing returns. So to think that the next bull run is not going to go below $60,000, you're just going against the data. You're going against, So who knows? What I'm thinking is a top of 120,000 and a bottom of 30,000 where we're at right now. I think that this $30,000 range that we're in right now very well could be the equivalent to the $10,000 range that we saw all throughout, the sideways movement of 2018 through 2020. It was just the sideways movement about $10,000 the whole time. This $30,000 range that we're in right now could very well be the equivalent to the $10,000. So, to buy at $27,000, perhaps that's like buying at $9,000, $8,000. So no one regrets that trade at all. So, I will just continue to buy. I don't care where Bitcoin is going. I don't care if it's going down for the remainder of the year. And it probably is going to, considering the fact that I just lump summed the most amount of money I've ever lump summed into Bitcoin in my, career so far. So we'll have to see where Bitcoin goes. I'm very excited that I finally got to buy in because, in terms of the mental, it's just seeing Bitcoin make its move up over here while I'm just waiting for my funds to clear at Chase. It's such a heartbreaker. It caused such massive headache. And, that's one of the many reasons why Bitcoin is superior to the centralized fiat system with all these centralized banks, whether it's Bank of America, American Express, or Chase. It's like you have to, get their permission to move your own funds. I put in, I put in $10,000 in my account, and I had to wait over a week for it to clear. It didn't clear until today, and I was just waiting so long. I was waiting so long for the funds to clear so I can use it to buy Bitcoin. It was ridiculous. With Bitcoin, there is no waiting. It's permissionless. You don't have to wait for anyone's permission to move it. You can move as much value as you want, and all it'll take is a 10-minute period to confirm your transaction. So it's permissionless. You don't have to get permission from a centralized bank, whereas with fiat you absolutely do have to wait. And that's why it took me forever to buy in. And of course I couldn't even buy down here. I spent some pocket change down here, and in reality I had to wait till today to buy in, and it's all the way up here. So if we're putting in lower highs, then of course they unfreeze my funds right when the high is in. So if this is a high and we dip down, I wouldn't be surprised. These markets have a way of having you buy at the very worst time and sell at the very worst time. So am I upset that I wasn't able to buy in the $25,000 range? Yes, I'm super duper upset. But what is the difference of 25,000 and 27,000 in the long term? From this bottom wick all the way up to here, it's only about a 10% difference. So had I invested $10,000 and waited till today, that's about a $1,000 gain, but that's not too much anyway. So in the grand scheme of things, in the world in which Bitcoin is $120,000, having a whole coin down here and riding it all the way to the top, that should be a gain of $100,000. So time will tell. And even after surpassing a whole coin, the accumulation does not stop here. But at least now I have a peace of mind knowing that, all right, if worse comes to worse, if I can't afford to DCA anymore after this for whatever reason, at least I have a whole coin. You know, I reserved a whole coin for myself. I removed a whole coin from the exchanges, and that whole coin will never see the light of day ever again. So, you know, 21 million is more like 20,999,999 because of me and me only, and that's not even taking into consideration all the people that lost their bitcoins. Approximately 4 million bitcoins are lost. It's not taking into consideration Satoshi's burned 1 million coins, nor does it take into consideration Michael Saylor's 150,000 bitcoins that he's most likely never going to sell. So yeah, that's everything I had to say. Of course, I'm making this on my lunch break, so you know, I just want to make this quick little video just to provide an update for you guys. Long story short, to summarize this video, is I lumped sum today, so you should expect the markets to tank over the next couple months. Alrighty, everyone, thank you so much. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in another video.